Hello friends, James Stevenson back with another episode of Who's Hatin' Hard on Tesla Today. It's Sam Abuelsamid. I'll go ahead and hit the Who's Hatin' Hard on Tesla Today sizzle. He goes by a few different names. He is Sam Abuelsamid, but he also posts as Autoblog and as Guidehouse Insights and as Navigant Research. So you may have seen his tables over the years that have gained a cult status among Tesla long investors for their seeming backwardness. You can keep an eye on Loki and the Loki Cam. As I share my desktop with you, I just realized I never made a video about this tweet. It was just a tweet and not a video. And Elon gave it a like yesterday, so I figured let's make it a video. If it's good enough of a tweet for Elon to like, maybe you missed it. Maybe you would like to see this video about my tweet, in which I said in the news 13 years plus 13 weeks ago, a very memorable and quotable article was published by Autoblog, literally proclaiming Tesla is doomed by potential pitfalls, including a totally unsustainable business model, slowing sales, uncertain timing of new model production, and concerns about whether Tesla can build the new model profitably. Sound familiar? Man, it's so much fun to do quotation fingers. I don't know why. It just brings me joy to do quotation fingers. That's probably childish, but whatever. Okay, so yeah, if that sounds familiar to you, it's because people still say the same stuff today, right? One stock analyst says Tesla will fail like internet groceries was the headline of the article. And I have not quoted the entire article here because parts of it were very boring as he tried to tie in some supplier story. But it was published to Autoblog on August 19th, 2010, 13 years, 13 weeks ago, by Sam Abuelsamid at 9:55 a.m. if you care what time that day the blog post went live. So he's talking about Webvan here. Unfortunately, Webvan had management with no experience in the grocery business, and the project was a totally unsustainable business model. Writing for The Street, Eric Jackson says Tesla is doomed to the same fate. Wow, you actually get it in print in the article, or in the blog post. Tesla is doomed. That's what Sam Abuelsamid believed, along with many others at the time. That was a pretty popular opinion back then. Jackson points at the risk factors section of the pre-IPO S1 filing and highlights a number of items as indicators of the electric car company's likely failure. It's likely that this company will fail, he believed. The lack of experienced auto industry executives in the company, highlighted by CEO Elon Musk as a plus, as Tesla tries a new way of building cars, is something Jackson believes is a huge mistake. Yeah, you gotta have experienced auto executives who only know one way to do it. Jackson also highlights the slowing sales of the Roadster. I'm not saying it was easy for Tesla to make a car company without experienced auto executives, but they did make it. It was hard. It was an uphill battle. They had to fight, but they were victorious. And the uncertain timing of the Model S production as potential pitfalls, as revenue will stumble until volume deliveries of the new car start. Even then, there's no guarantee that Tesla can build the Model S profitably. If you've heard the same thing recently about Cybertruck, just know that it's not a new concern from doubters and skeptics. While all of these are valid points, Jackson never makes any mention of Tesla's relationships with either Daimler or Toyota. It's certainly possible that neither of these deals will amount to anything significant, but Tesla does at least have some intellectual property that might be of value, and while it may or may not survive as a going concern, it will almost certainly at least get gobbled up by another automaker. Okay, yeah. So there may be some residual intellectual property value. So maybe somebody will want to buy the Tesla brand because they were established as an EV brand, so they won't have to make up their own EV brand. Maybe Toyota will buy them, or Mercedes, or somebody. So I noted here, my note, boring stuff removed, but you can read it if you want. Just click on the hyperlink. But I did leave in this piece at the end of the article about Tesla Motors, hashtag Tesla. Tesla's goal is to, which at the time the stock wasn't even public yet, right? August of 2010? I don't even think the stock had gone yet, which is what this business about the S1, the IPO filing S1, was about. Tesla's goal is to produce increasingly affordable electric cars to mainstream buyers, relentlessly driving down the cost of EVs. Well, would you look at that? If you didn't pay attention to master plans, Tesla's secret master plan part 1, well, at the time it wasn't called part 1 because it was the only part, but here it is again, relentlessly driving down the cost of EVs is in Tesla's mission. Palo Alto, California-based Tesla has delivered more than 1,200 Roadsters to customers in North America, Europe, and Asia. They would go on to sell a little over 2,000, I think, in total, including the next couple of years' worth of production. Tesla designs, develops, manufactures, and sells EVs and EV powertrain components. The Tesla Roadster accelerates faster than most sports cars, yet produces no emissions. That's how new the company was. You had to introduce it to people. All right, so that's it. End of italicized portion. I tried to put italics over the article so people could tell the difference easily between what I was writing versus what Sam Abuelsamid wrote. If you're wondering who wrote the article, it's the same guy who published this infamous chart along with his own editorial commentary that I had to provide an amusing emoji for. On autonomous driving, leaders, contenders, challengers, and followers. He sometimes publishes his work as Navigant Research or Guidehouse Insights, but it's all the same joker. So here it is. You have to chuckle when you see it, with Tesla in last place and nobody close to them. Like they're way in the back, last. There's nobody following as hard as Tesla is what Sam Abuelsamid would have you believe. Now this was not published at the same time. This was published maybe 7 or 8 years later or something. But I'll read you the caption provided by Sam. Chart 1.1 shows the ranking of each company. This year, 4 companies had scores that earned a place in the leaders group: Waymo, NVIDIA, Argo AI, and Baidu. Waymo in the news recently has shut down their operations in San Francisco after having to admit that their operation of driverless vehicles, I'm back with my quotation fingers again, driverless vehicles actually required like 1.5 or 2 head counts working in order to function. So for every vehicle in operation, they had more than one Waymo employee helping it go, driving it remotely, driving to go pick it up and get it out of jams, etc. So if you thought Waymo had a level 5 solution that was scalable, you thought wrong. They didn't have either of those things. NVIDIA, Argo AI, and Baidu, several others including Cruise. Maybe did I just confuse Cruise with Waymo? They're both not doing that great. Motional, Mobileye, Zoox, and Aurora. Apologies to Waymo if it was Cruise that I should have been leveling those charges against. Fell just outside of this group among the 8 companies in the Contenders group. Notably, Tesla continues to rank at the bottom of this list, despite getting significant press attention for its full self-driving beta software release, although several of the companies ranked this year have close affiliations with automakers. Tesla is the only automaker on the list and has made marketing FSD a key feature in selling vehicles. Tesla has made significant progress in strengthening several areas, including staying power, thanks to the run-up in the stock price in the second half of 2020, but its technology is still lacking. Oh, sure. Yeah, Tesla, the only one of the companies on here that had actual scalable hardware, right? All these other folks, unless comma is on here. Is there no comma? All right, so unless I'm mistaken, like I don't study Neuro and Yandex and May Mobility well enough to know, and Gatic, what is that? Well enough to know, but for most of these companies, they've got way too many sensors. They've got way too much hardware in the forms of LiDAR, radar, cameras, sensors, computers, networking. It's all way too expensive to scale, right? We're talking, in some cases, $50,000 or more worth of additional hardware just so that they can do their attempt at level 4 or level 5 self-driving. What's Tesla have? A very affordable, very scalable, profitable hardware solution that they can sell that is already deployed on the roads, already collecting data for Tesla. Tesla has by far the most data of any of these companies available to them because they put the hardware in cars that they were actually selling to end customers and networked it, providing over-the-air software updates, collecting data from the field wirelessly. That's the way to do it. And everybody else got it wrong, but they're the leaders and the contenders and the challengers, and Tesla is the follower. Who exactly is Tesla following? No one else is taking the same approach Tesla is taking. I can't imagine who Sam thinks Tesla is following in terms of execution and strategy on his chart that isn't even a chart that I had to make fun of. But a lot of funny comments. So somebody asked, is this to scale? I replied, as to scale as MS Paint freehand visualizations ever are. I don't think Excel was involved in the creation of this chart. That's my last quotation finger for this video, and that's the end of my video. Who's hating art on Tesla today? Once again, Sam Abuelsamid. I don't think I ever featured him before, but he's been hating on Tesla for a long time. And I'll check back in with Loki, who is still curled up in bed, even though his ears swivel to let you know he is listening. He would have spoken up if I had said anything he disagreed with. And with that, I'll remind you to like the video if you haven't liked it yet. If you liked the video, you stuck around this long, probably you did like the video. If not, you can leave me a comment below. Let me know what I got wrong. Probably I mixed up Cruise and Waymo. I do that sometimes. But thank you to everyone who supports me, whether you do that on Patreon or on X, or by joining my YouTube channel. I'll leave you a link over here so you can join for free my YouTube channel if that's where you're watching this video. And a special thank you to my 2 executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.